Greetings, I am Liz and I use she, her.
And I am Scandal and I use they, them.
And let's play a game together.
Yeah.
Alrighty, we get to learn about Noelle. I'm so excited. I have spent so much time talking to myself, potentially.
Potentially.
It's okay. You will support me. We will support each other.
You can do it.
He reminds her of me. How? I don't even like snakes, and stuffed animals are a useless waste of space.
Yet, against all logic, a lump forms in Noelle's throat, impossible to swallow. Noelle quickly stamps down all stupid emotions and focuses on organizing her thoughts.
Thank you. He is green, soft, and at least 5 feet long. I will place him in my bedroom and preserve him in mint condition for as long as possible.
She looks happy. A warm and fuzzy feeling swells in Noelle's chest.
You're my favorite person. I think I may have developed some kind of attachment to you, too.
Kids who are like, I'm used to being really logical, going, it does seem to be that heretofore, what?
It feels like I also may be affected by something like feelings.
Yes, perhaps it is the serotonin.
We should go on vacation together someday when we grow up. Would be fun. That would be fun. I would accompany you with only mild complaining.
Oh my god.
Where?
This is where they go, a very precocious child.
Mm-hmm.
Her language is very peculiar, basically, for our child.
And very like chosen and thoughtful, though. Like very specific too. I will be specifically articulate while being exact, but not necessarily committed. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe England. Can you go to... Can go to Diagonal...
Noelle watches Dia's face drop as she silently goes through the 5 stages of grief, remembering most of the locations in Harry Potter aren't real.
Yes. Well, I appreciate that description. We can at least see platform 9 3/4. They put a plaque of it at King's Cross. Okay. What else do you want to see in England? All-you-can-eat buffet? They have those here, too. So it's simple to make you happy.
It's so simple.
If everyone thought like you, there would be no wars.
Dia doesn't appear to know how to respond to this, so she just looks away and smiles shyly.
If we run out of things to do in England, we can always watch TV in our hotel room. No, you complain too much when things aren't scientifically correct. Like when radioactive things cause superpowers. You get so hung up on it, it's distracting. You might be Lies.
But the thing is that that's not meaningful discourse.
I know.
It's really not.
Shh. Distracting how? Distracting like...
Noelle watching a movie in class last week.
Shut up! This is not scientific! He can't do that! That's not how nuclear physics work! No! Shut up! We can watch an educational nature documentary then. Like Planet Earth. I don't like the part where the baby elephant follows its mom's tracks the wrong way. Yeah, I also don't like the part where they show how, carnivores and omnivores eat. Just saying. We can skip the part where the baby elephant follows its mom's tracks the wrong way.
Suddenly, Dia starts climbing off the playground structure.
I just remembered.
Actually, Dia had been preparing to say this for the past 15 minutes.
Oh, want you to meet someone. I made a new friend yesterday. Oh, this is it. Really? Who? Men. Men? Is that a boy or a girl? Not sure? How can you not be sure? Didn't you meet? It was hard to tell. You'll see what I mean. I will. When you become friends. Men is really nice. Gave me a seaweed sheet. Dia is a golden retriever and just likes food.
Yeah, kind of. Just a hungry baby.
Yeah, it's just like, maybe not a golden retriever, maybe more like a black lab. I'm a little more quiet, and I'm present, and I'll do shit. But I will love you if you give me food. Mm-hmm. Golden retriever's too enthusiastic. Give more like a black lab. Mm-hmm. I've never seen you this excited over someone before. They must be really something.
Dia looks like she agrees. Oh, God.
This must be him, her? Ma'am, sir?
Instead of introducing them, Dia is just happily standing there in silence.
Now the two people that I like most in the world are in the same place, and I have both of them.
Perfect.
I am an introvert who wants food.
Yay! Hungry.
Food-trovert.
The other girl circles around Noelle, sizing her up. Her face darkens when she sees the snake plushie Dia gave her. So you're Dia's best friend? You giraffe?
What?
I'll fight you!
Excuse me?
There can only be one of us! So we have to duel. I'll beat you in hand-to-hand combat.
What? No.
Starting in 3, 2, 1!
I already said no! Smack.
Crunch.
What was that all about? What an idiot. What does Dia see in someone that dumb? I don't understand. I'm home.
What did you get on the math test?
An A minus.
A minus? Why not A? Noelle's mom is cutting a column out of the Chinese newspaper. Look at this article. This boy was accepted into every single Ivy League college. He lives in Pleasanton. If he can do it, why can't you? I'm putting this on your wall to inspire you. She gets up and tapes it in Noelle's bedroom next to a poem her dad printed out. There is no success without hardship.
Can I go to the park with Dia this Saturday?
What for?
We're taking a walk around the lake. There's also a Petco nearby. She wants to look at the fish and hamsters.
Will Dia still be your friend if you say no?
Yes, but I want to.
Then there's no point. Now that you've already established your friendship, you should be expending the minimum amount of energy to maintain it. Otherwise, you're just wasting your limited time. Fun is an illusion. Don't be controlled by your emotions.
We are so correct about these parents. Good job, game. Communicating, controlling, and abusive parents. We got the picture.
Yeah! Emotional neglect.
But I'm free that Saturday. Chinese school is on break.
You can use it to study for your tests at school.
I already studied for them.
All of them?
I finished reading all my textbooks already. Twice.
Did you do all the practice problems?
I did all the practice problems. Ha! Take that. There's nothing that could possibly be left for me to do.
I'll buy next year's textbooks so you can get started on those then.
Never mind.
Oh, God.
There's the snake!
Yay!
There is the snake! I am so sorry. The only decorations in your room are the article and the poem.
Ouch. No distractions.
No distractions. Only
Whoa.
Inspiration. Trophies you've won, the books you're studying, the space to work, clothes in your drawers, and a place to sleep. That's it.
Upset, Noelle curls up in bed angrily hugging her giant snake plushie.
Who will not stay in mint condition.
Nope.
Read next year's textbooks.
The Fox and the Grapes. A hungry fox saw a fine bunch of grapes hanging from a vine. He did his best to reach them by jumping as high as he could into the air.
I'm hearing that the next thing is going to be, the walk around the lake wouldn't be that great anyway.
Yeah. But it was all in vain, for they were just out of reach. So he gave up trying and walked away with an air of dignity and unconcern, remarking, I thought those grapes were ripe, but I see now they are quite sour. Reading comprehension questions. 1. Why doesn't the fox eat the grapes?
They were sour. He couldn't reach them. Oh my god.
Through the window, Noelle can hear someone whiffing a badminton racket outside.
Sorry! It's okay.
It sounds like they're playing badminton in the driveway without a net.
They're probably in that dumb kid's class.
Yeah. 2. What does "it was all in vain" mean? It was
useless.
No!
Oh my god, did you see that?
They're both laughing.
Stupid hooligans wasting their time. Having fun, ha! I'm above such petty unnecessities. They'll regret it when they're working at McDonald's someday. I hate sports anyways. I'm the real winner here.
3. What's the message of the story? Appearances are deceptive. Look before you leap. It's easy to despise what you cannot have.
That one. I know that story.
I do too.
I don't know what it means if you pick the wrong answers. And certainly you could. But I feel like for her character, she would choose correctly.
Yes.
I feel like she would absolutely know.
Without, though, also self-examining. Because a lot of times people will be like, that's the fun thing about human beings, is we're incredibly good at being hypocritical. Mm-hmm. Actually.
And the thing was, it didn't go walk in the lake, but it is unnecessary things like fun. It was a good little allegory of, I am the fox.
Yeah.
It worked.
Noelle, you're up to bat. Noelle grudgingly steps up to the plate.
I don't like the bit of non-consent in here.
I don't enjoy it either.
The coercion, the insistence, the forcing, I appreciate that it happens, and in that way the story is very realistic. And the story may not be meant to be a safe space like I am used to. Mm-hmm. But it still throws me off.
I mean, the thing is I'm not used to them either. It's just the fact that you just kind of go, okay, that's shitty, and you move on. Sometimes I think about the fact that we start discussing, basically, especially in regards to, fiction, whether or not, quote, you can consent to reading this and consent to having, for example, a stalker in a story or something like that. Or, you go, oh, this was a safe space, how did you ruin this? And it's like, you consented. Those things don't seem to apply in the same way to stories, because stories are different than existing in,
I may be using safe space incorrectly. In general, I am used to games not wanting to expose me to really painful things without it being a sort of thoughtful expositional experience of you're there to see something or learn it. Mm-hmm. Rather than, some people are just nasty, and there's a story going on as well. Mm-hmm. You know?
I mean, I think there might actually be somewhat of a point there, but that's not really the big focus. It's a slice of life, but also being more mean than most slice of lives are. So whenever, for example, I've watched slice of life anime, which is one of the reasons I've usually never liked them, is the fact that they tend to be very flippant for the most part. They're very chill. It feels in some way it's more just like popcorn. You're just kind of having fun, and I don't really go in for stuff like that, so I usually do expect some sort of, conflict or, stuff that actually means something. But that's what I go in for with narratives, so...
I hate sports. Why am I here?
Akarsha is pitching. She raises her eyebrows at Noelle as she winds up. Wake up!
What?
Wake up, Frenchman! You're in a coma!
I am not! You are trying to confuse me and failing.
Akarsha pitches the ball. Swing at the ball.
I would like to not swing at the ball, honestly.
Yeah, but we can't.
I know.
We have to. Through sheer luck, Noelle manages to hit the ball.
Ooh.
It pops straight up. Noelle runs for first base with the agility of an old man with 2 broken legs.
Poor thing.
Ha! I got it. Krissa catches it in her mitt. The runner already on first base gives Noelle a strange look when she runs up to it. Noelle, you're out. Stop running! It's embarrassing.
What? Why?
She caught it, genius!
But, so? Why can't I run? How come the runner on first isn't out? The rules of this game are really incomprehensible.
It's okay. Nice try.
I don't need praise for failing. I'm not stupid.
Yeah, because it all becomes about intelligence, or smartness, which is actually a way to really make somebody insecure, going, you're so smart, rather than going, hi, you've worked really hard on this.
Also, there is a level of going, if you're bad at sports, it's because you're not very bright.
Which is weird.
Which is ridiculous, because it requires a lot of physical ability as well. But there is this level of, if you don't have physical ability, you're kind of dumb. Which actually ties in really hard to the idea that our culture has about fitness.
It does, actually. And also ties into the way that how people look at I will just say it, how people look at fat people.
Mm-hmm.
Or anybody they can consider to be basically overweight in any capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Going, you're not skinny enough. They'll
Well,
go,
but you're
oh,
not-
you must be stupid.
I'll say you're not as smart as someone who's figured out how to be thin.
Yeah, exactly. Because,
Mm-hmm.
you know, if you just figured it out, but I guess you're fat, so that's probably why. Yeah. Noelle grabs a mitt and joins Dia and the others on the field.
We're taking turns batting. Everyone who isn't a batter or runner is defending on the field. No one's explaining the rules to you. It feels so odd to be doing this. I keep half expecting someone to holler at me to get off.
Suddenly, Dia swerves back to avoid a bee flying at her face. Did that bee just try to sting you? Come back here, you bitch bee coward! I'm gonna fuck you up!
Alright.
Min moves indignantly between Dia and the bee, and Min gets stung
In the face.
in the face.
Actually, though, I have to say that usually, if a bee is around you, it is not thinking about stinging you at all. It is going, are you food? Is there flour? Is pollen somewhere?
Uh-huh.
You have bright colors.
Even though, like, Dia doesn't really seem to have bright colors on, so that's why I'm kind of like...
No, but you have a color.
You probably smell interesting.
Or we can't see in the spectrum, bugs can see in.
That's true.
And since we can't, okay, so really cool bee facts real quickly, or like bug facts and flower facts. So almost all flowers out there have like a whole other spectrum of colors on them that make them look like they have like literal runway ramps guiding you into the inside of the flower.
They see an ultraviolet.
Yes, they're ultraviolet patterns. The thing is we could be weaving ultraviolet colors into our clothes constantly, but since we can't see them, we don't know we're choosing them and don't know what they look like. So when you're wearing all black and a bee comes up to you and goes, oh my god, I love you, you have no idea what your ultraviolet spectrum of your clothing is saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. She's trying to protect Dia from the bee.
Min throws a punch at the offending bee. After silently watching a few fruitless swings, Dia takes off her hand and strikes the bee in midair with the bill of her cap. No!
Fly swatter. Like I said, Dia not soft and gentle.
It falls to the ground, dead. Min beams at her with pure adoration in her eyes. Oh, you do have flowers. Damn.
I was gonna say, this actually is a little bit brightly colored, but...
I forgot. That's what I was like, what was she wearing?
I have fixed the problem by killing the bee. Honestly, I would never kill the bee, but I appreciate that Dia is very decisive in that way, and is just like, I need men to stop being unhappy. I will fix it instantly, because I'm just so glad to see her.
Uh-huh.
Alright. When did you move back?
About 2 weeks ago.
Wow. If we had any classes together, we'd have crossed paths way sooner. Does Jun Seo go here now?
No, he's at a different school. He goes to Niles.
That's an easier, less Asian school. Why would your parents put you in different schools?
They didn't. I originally went there too, but I got expelled.
Expelled? How was Florida? You're not going to ask about the expelled part? Everyone else on the game is just, everything's paused for now. It's fine.
Pretty much.
We're not out of the inning. We're not in halftime. We're just, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. We're just like, well, this is how you start.
Horrible! They don't have boba places there. I had to drink milkshakes.
I love milkshakes, and men, I do not identify with you at all.
I do not even slightly.
I require milkshakes. I appreciate that many Asians are lactose intolerant, and I appreciate that I am a white girl who can drink milk, but milkshakes, okay?
I mean, I like milkshakes, but I will admit to going more towards, I would prefer them not to actually have, like, cow milk in them. Because as I've gotten older with it, I've been like, you know what, it's stupid, I should stop trying to push it because I get miserable when I start having a lot of mucus.
You should have goat milkshakes.
I should. They would be really strong.
Bleh,
for most
shakes.
people.
It depends on what you put in them.
It's true.
What else you put in them? That's crazy. I don't even really like boba that much, so that's my problem too.
And everyone was white.
In Florida, you betcha. It is so white down there. Like, if you did a, like, scan bar of America in the skin tone density in there, like, you'd have paper over on that end.
You probably would.
Bleached printer paper. Are white people that bad?
They do shit like pull their eyes into slits and go, ching chong ting tong.
Oh, we're getting real clear direct racism.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
Again.
No, I know that because I did that as a kid. I will completely own up to that. When I was a child, my dad taught me basically that kind of little joke, and my brother did of that. Like, I didn't meet anybody who was Asian at all, but like I also remember my brother, he made fun of basically like my interest in Japanese anime, or Japanese animation, and he would just start doing stuff like that. And yeah, I remember crap like that.
See, and I remember the one of, do you want to learn to speak Chinese? And then, you call yourself a goose. Yeah.
Yeah.
And not having any context at all in an incredibly, really, in a town that was largely white, and that the rest of it was basically Mexican in a way that they're dressing very white. So me as a kid, I didn't realize that the town was basically Mexican and white. I just thought it was mostly white because my experience was so whitewashed.
Your circle was this big. Yeah.
And also my education was that big. And and so it was this thing of going, I had no idea what racism was through my entire childhood. I didn't even know the word.
I think in a lot of ways neither did I. I think the hard thing also has been a lot of times where I look back at my life and go, I really did regurgitate basically a lot of stuff that was casually done. And I imagine, honestly, that like my family didn't mean anything by it. It was just kind of a joke. And I think my dad was kind of awkward about it when he was really like, he's trying to illustrate this to my kid. And he's like, I remember him kind of being a little bit like sort of awkward about it. And I was kind of like, this is fine, because I was like, oh, it's supposed to be funny. And it was goofy, because I'd never been exposed to anything like that. But it was really like,
unintentional racism is still racism.
It is. And that's
I appreciate that it's in here and that it's explicit.
Me too. Or, go back to China! I'm not even Chinese. I had to get so good at beating people up.
So good. What the heck? That sounds like a cartoon.
It is not.
Actually, it happens. I thought racism was over.
Oh my god. You know, that line reminds me of my ex.
Feminism
is over. Yeah.
You know what? I really enjoy
racism is made up, and
in the parts of TikTok that I do traverse, I run into I consume media of a lot of people who talk about racism and discrimination of many different kinds, but specifically racism. And it's really great when some of them just give examples of stuff that's happened to them right now in their real lives. And they don't really exaggerate at all. A couple of them actually do some really thoughtful little, like, basically one-person plays of, I'm this person and I'm the other person. And even trying to educate the person discriminating against them on, that's not really a nice thing to say. And stuff like that. But, like, yeah, it's not over. But they do tell people it's over.
Me too!
But they showed us that cartoon every year in class where they time travel to when there's segregation.
Actually, that reminds me so much of being a kid in the United States. Because the thing is okay, so every time you're in school, they're like, here, we will show you these videos, and be like, see, you should not do that thing. And then these are the things that basically are in the past. So remember we had that, like, in one of our episodes where we've mentioned before, where they're like, you guys need to realize that, like, samurai and, like, cowboys and mariachis all exist at the same time, right? So they were like, the fact is, in the United States, they make everything seem so deeply abstract and so far away, even when stuff like, for example, the civil rights movements was fucking back in the 1960s and 1970s.
And they make it with this, so all history is portrayed as
and
if it happened...
And Stonewall was 300 years ago.
Infinitely ago. In the same way that, there's this author that I read some time ago, and they wrote a book called Bird for Bird. It's a writing book, okay? And I cannot think of her name right now, but at one point she was talking about it, and she said, what the most common thing I get when I appear in, lecture halls or classrooms is when people recognize my name, they go, oh, I thought you were dead. Because all history is taught as though it is ridiculously back there. Not as though it is the foundational building blocks of who you are, not as though it shaped your current generation, not as though it allowed you to have free access on the internet, or whatever direct results or ripple effects it's had at all. It's just this giant thing that happened back there, and since it happened, anything about it is resolved.
Yeah.
That is American history the way I've ever been taught it in schools and educational facilities.
Yeah.
The segregation. What happened?
Beats me.
They forgot in Florida.
The next batter strikes out.
Oh, you're all on the bench right now, I guess.
No, they're all in the field.
Oh, they're... Where?
So they have... No, so they've been...
No, hold on.
What?
In baseball, where the hell would you all be positioned where you could actually talk to each other while you're in outfield positions?
Probably poorly either set up, like, potentially here and here, so you guys can't see where I'm pointing, so I'll do this. So maybe, like, so you have your second base here, and you have first base here. You could have an outfielder right here, and they've just moved up here.
And they're just yelling at each other?
They're
Because
just talking.
It's still quite far away.
Not necessarily. Not if they break the rules and they come up here. The thing is you don't know how Krissa and Liz are organizing where the kids are supposed to stand. So I've seen sometimes, even in professional games, where guys, they'll sort of like mingle and they'll be next to each other because they're just sort of waiting around for stuff to happen. It really does happen.
Lame.
But, like, also, I've done stuff, you know, like watching my brother play baseball, and also I guess he did college baseball as well.
And they leave the part of the field they're supposed to and just hang out.
And they just go hang out. That's what you do, especially like when you're doing practice or something. People just fuck around. So bad.
I am so much more professional than that.
Yeah. Next batter strikes out. Liz, who's acting as the catcher, returns the ball to Akarsha. Akarsha fumbles it and drops it on the mound. Everyone watches disapprovingly as she scrambles to pick it back up.
Everyone.
That was an illusion? Illusion, a trick of the light.
Universal disapproval. I doubt that. Whose viewpoint are we in?
We're currently with Noelle.
Yes.
So the big thing also, though, to consider is potentially, so with Noelle sort of as the most extreme, I think, example of, like, Asian parents, so far for the ones that we've seen, I'm kind of curious to know if Noelle, one, is probably extrapolating further, but also Noelle might have a really good idea that a lot of people are really judgy because of that sort of Asian parent expectation. Asian kid, yeah.
I project on everyone. Okay. No, we clearly saw you mess up.
It's Dia's turn at bat now.
Oh, God.
Dia hits the pitch with a downright scary amount of force. The ball shoots over everyone's heads and lands at a tree in the distance, causing several startled crows to flap out.
Bah, holy shit! Oh.
Yeah!
Whose side are you on? We're supposed to be on the defense.
Okay, but you have to admit, that was sick. Nice one, Dia.
Just the ha.
It's Min's turn at the plate now.
Also, I get the very strong, like, Black Lab vibes of I'm just quiet but very excited. And I don't even necessarily wag my tail that much. I just have this whole posture of,
Excite. She immediately grabs the heaviest bat they have. Minseo. Fuck. Hello, darling. Alright. Minseo, are you sure you want to use that? We have other bats that are closer to you. This one is fine.
She hasn't even tried the other ones.
But in general, people your size should use the 31-inch... No! I am not some weakling! On the mound, Akarsha paces back and forth as Min squares up in the batter's box. Why? Okay, the thing that I'm entertained by, like, just offhandedly, why are they letting Akarsha pitch? They have pitching machines. Particularly when you don't have people who are trained to pitch.
Because you're all here doing baseball club, not playing regular baseball. Not practicing and learning baseball, you're doing baseball club.
But I'm like, Akarsha's gonna bean somebody.
They
even when you do club stuff.
No, like, and the thing is if none of them are teachers and they all just want to play,
and you have to have an
they'll correct people when it goes wrong.
I was gonna say, you also though can't use the pitcher,
machines
the automatic pitcher. You can't use it without an adult.
But also, if you use the automatic pitcher, no one learns to pitch.
Yes, but usually you have the pitcher practice, so there's a specific pitching area.
Not in baseball club, when your school doesn't have baseball.
You don't know that. Excuse me, you don't know that. They had baseball beforehand a few years ago.
But again,
I fight you.
If this is baseball light, it's not going to have all the things baseball has.
Baseball light, pure stars and hearts fly off.
The more you
Are you trying to psych me out? I bet you can't eat 5 crayons. Oh, yeah? I bet I can! No eating crayons while the club is in session, please. Actually, well, how about you try pitching now? It's been a while since we switched.
Me?
Noelle switches places with Akarsha on the mound. Bring it, you weak bitch!
What are you insulting me for? We're on the same side now!
Actually, you're not. Poor Noelle doesn't know.
No, like I said, she doesn't know the rules of baseball at all.
It's also possible she wasn't even fucking paying attention because she kept just going, I'm not supposed to be here. And they're like, we can't even tell you what to do. So based on her stuff going, shut up, that's not accurate. She probably wasn't listening.
That was science, not baseball.
No, I know. But I'm saying based on that sort of behavior, she's used to just going, I will block out everything that I don't want to hear. Even if it's not something she knows, because she doesn't want to know about baseball, she wants to not be here.
When would her options to learn about baseball have ever existed anyway?
They would have had some sort of introduction of going, hi, this is the pitcher, this is the catcher, let's talk about where the things are. And she going, I'm not going to listen.
Not if they're not usually the teachers and they're not used to running a club.
You don't know that.
No, You don't know it did happen.
So you can't prove that it
And
didn't happen.
That's what I said. So it could have, but we don't know that it did.
So
there may have been no orientation. It might have been, you can pitch. Where do I do that? On the mound out there.
I mean, the
I'm
reason
gonna hold a bat.
The reason why I'm bringing that up is because I feel like Noelle, as somebody who's like, I will study really hard and I will know all the things, the only explanation for her not to know, because she seems to pride herself on knowing things, is that she deliberately wouldn't listen. Or basically she was trying to avoid it because she's still going, I'm not here. I'm not supposed to be here. I don't want to play. Does that make sense?
So the only possibility is that she didn't listen, not that they didn't do it or weren't very good at it.
I'm saying, the only other thing that I have is that.
Okay.
If it's not that. Why are you arguing with me about this?
I don't know. I do just like, this thing must have happened off screen. I'm like, we don't know that.
We don't.
So we're good.
I'm saying that.
Same side.
Oh my god.
It's okay.
No, we're not. What the heck are you talking about?
Don't baseball pitchers pitch to their own team?
No? Everyone is shooting Noelle appalled looks. No, you pitch against the enemy. It's the pitcher's goal not to let the batter get on base.
Oh, I see. That's why they pitch at such high velocity. So it's harder for the batter to hit a touchdown.
Noelle, have you never watched a baseball game before? Okay, so you're right. They just never talked about it because they just assume everybody knows
If you're
what baseball
here for
is.
baseball, you must know what baseball is.
I wonder if that has anything to do... Okay, so I know, like, the Japanese actually love baseball like crazy.
So,
what?
I'm going to put out there that I've been to a lot of summer camps because that's how my dad babysat me when I was going to see him in the summers.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
In summer camps, you basically have these young volunteer teachers called camp counselors that are usually just out of high school.
Yep.
Not even into college yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
I know that. I've been to camp, too.
And almost none of them know how to teach anything about the subject that they're leading at all, period. And so, you get into a class for equestrianism, you get into a class for modern dance, you get into a class for cooking, and they pretty much go, alright, we're gonna dance now, or we're gonna cook now, and everyone kind of stands there until they're like, with this instructional manual, or why aren't you dancing? Or there's a whole park, go play in it. And like, my brother went to a baseball club where they did not explain the rules or function of baseball at all in a paid-for, signed-up camp. Because if you're at the camp, of course you know.
Okay,
You're assuming a level of organization that may not be there.
I'm not. The thing is all my camp experiences, then, by contrast, were way more organized than yours were.
You probably went to more expensive camps.
No, I didn't. I went to church camp.
Do you know how much money churches make? Oh, sorry.
I know how much, but they
fine.
don't make money.
It's fine.
Okay, so thank you very much, everybody, though, for joining us. We're actually out of time.
Oh, no! Sorry, we'd end this on an argument about the semantics of, well, if it didn't have it on screen, if it did have it off screen, we don't even know.
We do not know. These are blind, if you can't tell.
All right,
so thank you very much again. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and also share our videos. It actually helps us out a lot if you do so. Please also feel free to go check out our Patreon, our Ko-Fi, and our Twitch.
Woo.
We have some links in the description down below. We'd love to see you at any of those locations. And I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies. And it was great playing with you. Bye!